Are we getting a pulse in the market? Like, are the bulls finally like tired of it now, and they finally like wanting something? Like, I don't know. I see a little bit of life, like a smaller little bit. You know, we jump into this and we're like, wow, okay, a lot's happened. You know, a lot's happened in the last 24 hours, and it was like, okay, like we've been through this, we've seen this a few times now, but now it's like, is this serious now? Because then I jump out and I'm like, okay, well, let's quickly go to the weekly. Let's go look what happened since 2017. And I don't know about you guys, but I see a little bit of life here. We'll see where that gets to, you know, soon. We'll go in the smaller time frames. You know what they always say: zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. It calms those patients down a lot. Look at this. There's 2017 all-time high. The weeklies closed above it and held it. Are we going to get a little bit of bullish life? And will that bullish life, where will it take us? Because the next levels, I do see 30K, but, you know, are we going 16K first? Or is this a little lifeline now to say a relief bounce is coming? We're going to get a big rally. We can see how the dominance tanked and the altcoins are pumping, and these things are now, you know, starting to just make us double think and just see, like, are we ready? If this does explode, are we damn ready? So I'm going to be going through all the altcoins, all the entries that I'm looking at. Is this real? Is it Bitcoin's last chance to actually have a relief bounce here? Or if it gets rejected here, are we going straight down to 16K? Like, super important, guys. This is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for action, waiting for something. As soon as you snooze and you stop paying attention, boom, baby, we start to get something. So, guys, big show today. Let's get into it.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, what's happening? I hope you're all having a fantastic day and a great weekend too. I woke up mixed feelings this morning. I woke up with the leverage account stopped and that money just sitting there waiting for a trade. Half of my spot is out, half of it's sitting in dollars. So I have some dry powder. And then I have my long-term account, which is looking fantastic today. So I have that a mixed feeling where, like, you know, this is why splitting that portfolio and having bits everywhere is always fantastic, because at least a part of my portfolio is very happy today. My long-term is smiling because it's at least got a little bit of life, looking a bit better than what it did previously. And now I'm sitting with some dry powder. Do I FOMO in? Do I like, what do I do? You know what it does? Like, this market like gets you all jumpy and what's happening. And is there short-term trades too? So I think we're going to go through all of that. First thing you do, smash the like button. Will Smith that like button. Will Smith the subscribe button. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper. Make sure you're on our Telegram, guys. We caught tons on Telegram. Go look at Telegram. If you like short-term trading and stuff, join our Telegram group. Join all of that. As well as if you are trading with us, you've done your own research, educational purposes only from this channel, but make sure you are signed up to our exchanges. It does get you tons of benefits of sign-up bonuses. It does support the channel financially. We have the ByBit one, which gives you up to $4,200 if you use this link in sign-up bonuses. We then have Bitget, which gives you up to $8,000. They also have, I think it ends today, where they're giving away a Bitcoin to 100 people. If you have taken a derivatives trade using this link, you also get 15% discount. We then have CoinPanel. CoinPanel's got all the charts for you guys. And CoinPanel had tons of bullish charts for spots, and all of them have completely ripped. So that is definitely something you want when this market turns bullish like this, and you want spot trades, no higher risk, just something to get in and out to make some money in the market. CoinPanel is there for you guys. We then have Binance and KuCoin and many others below as well. So you look to click on those, and let's get into what is happening right now. So first thing, Market's very overheated, short time frame. It pumped, it ripped, it's done some incredible things. Let's zoom out. Let's have a look what's happening on the more higher time frame. We have now been in, since November, we have been in a very strong downtrend. And we've never really relief bounced that. We never actually had any sort of response from that. But we have since November. You're looking at what is it, about 8 months, 7 months of a continuous downtrend. And then what happened was we had a small bounce in between. We continued the leg down. There were so many thoughts. Will Bitcoin ever go to 20K again? Will these things happen? And eventually it happened, right? And when it got there, it's crazy. It's crazy. When it got here, everyone was bearish. After all of this, they're all like, okay, it's done. It's done now. We are bearish. The whole market, everyone was enjoying shorting. The bears were coming out saying, this is it. It's done. It's done. It's done. And then all of a sudden, when the whole world is telling you that, look how we start to get a little bit of life again. And I think today, the main purpose of it is like, this is a little spring, like it's tiny. We're busy celebrating a nice little move today, but look on the bigger picture, it's actually very small, but I think it can turn into something really big. No one's ever going to predict the market 100%, but when these big things do happen, if you're not prepared for them and understand what's coming next, you're just going to miss out again. And this market's got a really good way of like, here really made you want to quit. It made you want to get out completely. Where the best time there was building a portfolio and like, looking at these things, it's got a crazy way of flipping you the other way of a mindset. And it's going to happen many times. So get used to this. Get used to when you see something on Twitter and everything, like the whole world's bearish, it's always been the best times to be interested. Not to say that was the exact bottom or it was going to go up right now, but you were in the right phase of saying, wow, like, people are really saying crypto is going to die now. Like, it's over. These things are done. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it likes to turn. And it's the same thing here. Crypto is going to the moon. It's moving. We fell in those traps. It all happened many times. Twitter, everything was exploding. And the opposite happened as well. So one big lesson before I jump in here, split those portfolios. Have a portion that rides through all of this, because then on a day like this, you're not upset because a portion of your portfolio is growing. Some of them are on stop losses. So they're sitting in cash now. But it's always good, because if you have some of your money sitting on stop losses and you got cash and stuff, at least in the big dumps, it will save you and you will have cash always. So if that price keeps going down, maybe Bitcoin did go to 10K, at least you would have had some cash to work with there. And then some of it rides it all out, so that the days you miss your buys or you didn't catch the pump, at least you had a part of your portfolio that did. So split those portfolios, long-term, medium-term, short-term, understand that. Because this market rips now. You got to be ready and you got to use everything you've learned now. I spoke about it quickly on Twitter this morning, was maybe you weren't ready to make tons of money yet. And that's why you got trapped in these sort of things. But maybe you just needed the whole last year to learn, you know what I mean? To get understanding, this and that. Like, I believe you got one shot really in crypto. And if you hit it right, remember, the guys that made money in this stage over here, in these two massive, they fought this stage. They deserved it. They went through this whole year. Fred's one of them. Fred, you've made more money this bull run than what you made the last, right? You fought this, brother. And that's why you actually made some money the next one. It's the truth of it. You deserved it because you stayed through it. You went through it. You had to learn tons of the emotions through that. And it's the same phase here. The guys that survive this, the guys that learn from it, that grow from it, you just weren't maybe ready for money just yet. Maybe you weren't supposed to make money just yet. But you're going to damn make lots of money. It was a lot you learned through this. So keep learning, guys. Keep dedicated. The time come and the markets do great. So I do have an overset RSI over here that's just started to show me a little bit of life. I then jump into the smaller time frames and I'm like, okay, cool. Now what's happening and what are the critical levels for Bitcoin? And we had this little channel that we drew up last week, where we had this, you got to earn it. You got to earn it. There's a lot of people fighting for the same money here. Why should you get the money? You got to be smart and you got to be better than the rest. It's the only way you're going to make about 20% in crypto actually make money. So it means you got to be better than all your colleagues. Like, the sad thing is we're actually all facing each other. We're all not enemies to each other, but we're all fighting for the same amount of money. So you got to be better than the one next to you, and then you're going to be the one. So looking at the ranges here, guys, we do have Bitcoin now at the top part of the range again. The top part of the range we've been speaking is between 22 and 23,000. We have rallied there into that zone again. I think it's crunch time again. I think if we are going to have this relief bounce, it needs to happen now. Otherwise, if it goes too sideways here and it doesn't do too much, it may be another opportunity to go back down to the lower sort of range. So we're at that critical level again where Bitcoin's got to shine now. Can it give us the first closing candle outside of this range? Because we've had the two here where we got rejected, and there again, and we've never closed outside this range. So I think the daily close today is a very important close. It's one we want to see close outside of this range, close above there, because then it's doing something that it hasn't done previously before, and maybe just giving us that little hint. Now, after that, we have one more range, which is at 23,000. Now, for me, this is the next major resistance where the bears will try hold control, definitely, or they'll just open up and say, whoa, like, you know what I mean, that this market's gonna move now, because when we break through 23, the next resistance is at 26, and the one after that's at 28. So we will see a very quick eruption market that will move very quickly once we get to the 23 stage. So right now, you got the whole market, you got the altcoins exploding and these sort of things, but Bitcoin's still at that critical level where it can still ruin it. It can still, ruin the fun that we are currently experiencing right now. The FOMC meeting, exactly, like it's important. We got more meetings this week. We got more of that. What is interesting though, and let's see how it goes, is we do have the stock market breaking a trend. So it's something that's also been adding a lot of negative to the crypto, and crypto has been falling off it quite a bit. We do have it starting to break some sort of trend and getting some sort of higher high. Will it last? We'll see. Is it a fake out? We'll see. But we are getting a little bit of hints of strength from the stock market, which will always be a good thing for us in crypto. So it would be nice to see that hopefully it goes well, and it will be nice to see that the stock market can get back to the regions, get another 10-15% pump from where we're up now. And it will give us that move that we're looking for. Before I jump back there into the Bitcoin chart, we then look at dominance, and wow, dominance is coming down quite hard. Through the time of protection of Bitcoin, like something's changed, because every time Bitcoin got to the higher ranges of 23,000 in the last few weeks, we always had dominance turning to Bitcoin's favor. And it usually happens because you're like, wow, okay, like they're going to send Bitcoin first. They're going to send it first, and then they'll diversify into the altcoins. And now we got Bitcoin going up to the 22, 23K range, and we have dominance like totally falling. Like, guys, ETH ripped. Like, Ethereum really moved. I was very surprised. Like, is it the leading indicator in the market right now? Exactly. Is retail coming back? Not yet. Retail's buying when Bitcoin's at 20, 26K, 25K, 28K. Then retail's back. So for me, it's still kind of early. Like, I feel like they're wanting to FOMO now, but they're not truly in just yet. Yeah, play nice, Bitcoin, play nice. But, is ETH leading the race right now? Look at this. ETH went, it ripped. Bitcoin's here right now. Random man, you're on mute. I can't hear you, brother. I don't know why I can't hear you. Just double check. Maybe jump on and off quick. I can't hear you, brother. Look at ETH, guys. Bitcoin's here right now. There went ETH. It just shows you that the patterns are correct. It's not about which coin is pumping right now. It's just showing you when a coin breaks a really critical level, a really key zone. As fast as we move the one direction is as quick as we move the other. And you can see there very much, just get used to the patterns, because here's the same play now. Look at this. Now ETH is ripping. ETH's got a little bit of resistance here. If Bitcoin cracks through that 23K, we're looking at ETH going back to 1.7 to $1,900. You know what I mean? So it just shows you the time where everyone is saying it is over, quit, like these sort of things. Like, look at this. We're starting to get a move. Random man.
It's all about Ethereum, bro. It's all about Ethereum.
What made Ethereum pump? What happened?
I think it's people getting excited for the merge, but I mean, it's
whatever Ethereum it is. And Matic. Ethereum and Matic.
Ethereum and then all the side chains. So Matic, and I mean, Matic was the one that went much higher.
AVAX, all of them. So it's quite interesting. What do you think? What's your feelings? Like, you've been through this. You've seen some of this before. Like you were saying it as well, that people wanted to quit. Like they wanted crypto. When we get to that stage, where everyone's bearish, everyone's learning how to short, they're enjoying how to short. All of a sudden, we just have a ripper, and it's obviously on a Sunday, on a weekend. Like it's crazy.
Look,
it's crazy.
I think we deserve it. We haven't had a single relief rally since all the liquidations. So we haven't had one single relief rally. This is the first sign of life we've got back in the crypto market. I'm not too surprised.
But do you
is.
think the
I think
short squeeze, do you still think there's a big short to squeeze coming? Because I still feel that as long as Bitcoin's under 23K, they're still going to try hold it. What happened to
I
Bitcoin
think
breaks 23K? Like,
I think ETH was the short squeeze. I think ETH saw the first of the short squeezes. I think there was a lot of shorts on ETH, and ETH saw short squeezes. Yeah, I think this could be a real bounce. Now, when I say bounce, I don't think we're going straight back into a bull market, but I do think that we might have our first real relief rally. And what
just
you can see
something.
today, you can see the layer ones and layer twos running. So Ethereum's running, Solana's running. You'll tell me about Cardano, because I think maybe Cardano may or may not run. I don't know.
I'm gonna get to that now. Like, what hasn't run yet? You know what I mean? And if Bitcoin does
Yeah.
break that level, like what are we catching? Because we know the market, there's little popcorn machines where a few bounce at times. We got to catch the next ones, because Matic exploded. I can't believe it. Look at it. It's still running today.
So
It's just
you got to
not
remember.
stopping.
You got to remember. I know you know this, but what the fans got to remember is, if this pump does last, it's going to go Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin layer ones. So it's going to go ETH, Cardano, Solana, all the AVAXs, all the layer ones. And then after layer ones, it's going to become the layer two. So things like the DEXs and stuff like that. So just remember, just keep
that in mind.
Just keep that in mind. Like, keep watching the coins. And if you think this pump is going to last, then start looking at, Bitcoin, then layer ones, and then layer twos. Listen, I'm driving. I'm not driving. I'm being driven.
I see you with the
But
family.
I'm going to be.
Be safe,
in the
brother.
backyard listening.
Okay, cool. Cheers, my brother. Okay. So let's jump in. So we obviously had the ETH explosion. We have Bitcoin at a very critical level right now. I think the question is, I got dry powder. Should I buy? Should I sell? Should I be getting out of some of these tokens? Now, for me, the altcoins are definitely leading out this pump, and they're not at any crazy resistances just yet. Like, for me, ETH, it's at a resistance, but it's not at a very critical. For me, it makes sense here. If I'm ever asking the question, should I take some profits? Should I be layering out a little bit of my thing? I'll be asking those questions a little bit higher at that range. Because for me, I'm still closer to the previous breakout than where I am to the next major resistance. So I'm looking at, I have some dry powder. Where can I load up some more? When we get to these higher ranges over here, I'll be looking at, should I take some off the table? Should I actually protect myself? And just to quickly, before I jump into the alts that I'm looking at and what I'm looking and what I'm doing next, is this break, guys. This break of Bitcoin of 23, as I was saying, 27, 28, and it's going to come very quickly. ETH just showed that. Do you see how ETH was fighting the range? And as soon as it cracked it, you get that short squeeze. And I think it's going to create a short squeeze, because what's everyone doing with Bitcoin right now? They're trying to short it. Let's just get this back up. There we go. They're trying to short it here because this is the last major point of the range. Where would they be putting their stop losses? Everyone that is bearish in this market is shorting, but their stop losses are here. They know the critical stage. So if Bitcoin finally gets there, you're going to have how all those orders go through. We've seen it, guys. We've seen it on the live trading show. We've seen how as soon as it triggers, what the bulls do is it's not that hard for the bigger guys. Right now, the volume's quite low, right? So all they got to do is, there's a ton of liquidity sitting here because all these guys are shorting and they're predicting that Bitcoin's going down to 16K. So what the big guys do is, firstly, they obviously build up in this range over here when everyone is hating crypto and they say it's a scam and all these sort of things. Then what they do is they just have to have enough powder to send it there. And if they send it there, it just triggers a stop loss and it starts triggering all the stop losses. What is a stop loss? If someone's shorting in a stop loss, it's a buy order. So it means they're shorting, but if it goes there, buy me back, because otherwise I'm gonna lose. You know what I mean? Otherwise I'm gonna lose tokens. And then all of a sudden it just buys everyone back in. Boom, 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 boom. People have asked, when I short or when I long and leverage, like, why does it stop me out for higher than what I got? I was only supposed to lose $10, but I lost $15. It's because people are buying in and it sent you up that list, and it just creates like this ladder effect. And that's how all of a sudden you get this massive quick rampage that shoots to the other side. So that's looking good, guys. Let's quickly jump on Matic. Matic did break this very big structural point here, similar to what we're saying. Bitcoin's sitting over here in this area here now. This one broke through and it's ripped. We do have news coming out in 2-3 days. I think there's an announcement that they were saying, right? I'm still going to stick to this. I think we've learned a lot in the last year. I think we got Matic that goes to $1, maybe to $1.20 within this week. And I'm still sticking to the way of sell the news. Like that's still at least take some sort of profit to the news. We got news coming out that he's ripping now. It's doing fantastic. I'm not falling for it again. Remember when Fantom was $3? Oh, there's more news coming out. There's more this, more that. You know what happened? You know, Fantom's sitting at $28, 28 cents now. So for me, when it gets, I'm not looking to buy Matic right now. I think the buys will come in a little bit of time. I'm looking to offload when it gets any of these areas. I'm going to get out before the news happens. I think it's on Wednesday. Sell the news. Take your damn profits. This ripped. This did fantastic. And there may be something else that's cheaper and in a better position than what that is. Remember, ride your winners. Take them when you're happy. Shift to the next one that's looking good. Definitely not buying Matic now. AVAX. Only just begun. Right now. AVAX shot through that area over there. I do think at any point we can get, I won't be surprised if Bitcoin does sit at this level a little while. And there can be a little bit of rejection at any point. And any rejections, I'm not going fully diversified into the market, but I'm selecting one or two alts. Major alts, like you said, layer ones and these things that I am going to trigger into and buy on this pullback, especially on my spot wallets. We'll get to the shorter time trades. But for me, AVAX, something like this, it's at a resistance now. It may just go if Bitcoin breaks. But any test here is where I'm interested. That's where I want to be loading up. And I'll be setting some stops in these areas. But we'll go through that. I will go through that as they start to get there. But ideally this, because the AVAX move here, you know, Bitcoin's sitting here in its range. ETH is sitting here. AVAX is not even anywhere close. So this, just to even the top range here, you're looking at a $36 on AVAX. So definitely one to keep an eye on. One that's ready for me and getting ready for me today, which I am going to attempt it. I'm going to prep for risk, but I am attempting it definitely, is Fantom. So Fantom is still in the lower part of the range. There's the lower part over there. It is now forming. It's only starting to get volume now. It's only starting to catch a bit of momentum now. As I said, if this market's going to go bullish, it's going to go bullish now. We don't want to lose the momentum. There is news coming out later on the week. But by then, we can be at 23, 24K. We can be erupting very quickly from that. So for me, Fantom, any little pullback into these areas today, which is between the 27 and 27.80 cents, I'm going for it. I'm going strong for it. For the top regions, even the next resistances, the next small resistance at 34, we then have 38. And even just to the top of the range, we're sitting at 50 cents. So for me, Fantom is definitely one that's early. It's earlier than the Matic and the ETH pump and these sort of things. So definitely that. We then have Solana, which I know Fred is listening to quite clearly. He wants to stack up on some Solana here. We know what Solana does. We know how that rips. Don't FOMO in. You wait for some sort of pullback. And don't go too crazy either. You know, select a few that are looking good now. Wait for the rest. Wait for a decent price on Matic. Wait for a decent price on ETH. Don't FOMO in, but find the ones that are good. Diversify, dip your toes in it, prep for the risk as well. Because the market is going to rip now. It's going to rip from this area here. And I definitely don't want to miss that either. So for me, Solana between 40 and 41.20 is where I'm loading up a big, strong push, strong bag of Solana. I am not even going to look at the crazy bullishness of it. I'm just going to look at the next areas, the smaller areas, which is 54, 58, and then we have the $65 range as well as the next target. So Solana is definitely one of my top picks that I'm looking at. We learned patience, exactly. ThorChain ripped. So guys, newsletter. This was on the newsletter last week. There was the drawing. Boom, boom, boom. To the moon. I gave you guys 2 different views there. Make sure you sign up to the newsletter. It is on my WhatsApp page. Not my WhatsApp. Sorry, not my WhatsApp. My on my Twitter page. It is there for you to sign up on it. You can have a look over here. And we are going to be giving away $1,000 Bitget. We're going to be giving $1,000 to any users that sign up with the link on the newsletters over there. So make sure you are part of that. You get tons of alpha there as well. And we are going to be giving away quite a bit of prizes. That newsletter, if you're not signed up to it, can't take a part of it. And once you sign up to it, you're going to be addicted to it because there's so much alpha there every day and so much free information. There's tons of trades. These were all there for you guys. So make sure you are part of that. So RUNE as well. No entries for me now, but is really ripping off and looking really strong. AVAX, Matic, Theta, definitely Theta on the next pullback. I'm interested. I know Mama Sniper is here. Let's get her on here for some Theta. This is still early for me. It's still in accumulation.
Yeah,
but if Bitcoin rips, that's one coin that I want. Yeah. Yeah, if
Yeah,
Bitcoin
it's
rips, at least one
still
token I want.
ranging. Yeah.
Still
So
ranging, still definitely
yeah,
ranging.
I basically see on most of the altcoins as well, just to add on to the analysis, Charles. Let me share screen here quickly and I'll show you. Let's go to, there's quite a few coins. And so let's go to, I'm going to choose link for now. Let's go to link. So most of the altcoins that I've run through this morning and had a look, we've got a short-term trend line and we've got a long-term trend line. And if you go and do analysis on most of the coins, they're basically all showing the same story. So from a 4 to 8 hour, we've got a short-term trend line. And when you go to your daily 3-day, you got a long-term trend line. So for me, we have broken on most of the altcoins. And I mean, it doesn't even look so much when you zoom out. When you zoom onto the smaller time frame, it looks absolutely amazing. But for me, we've broken a short-term time frame, a diagonal line, and we've still got these higher, basically you can call them resistance lines on the higher time frames. If we go to the 8 and we zoom out, we can see. So for me, obviously, yes, I hope it is a bit of a relief rally, but for me, I'm not going to turn completely bullish until these longer term time frames. And if you, the only one that's been different for me is ZIL. So basically link.ada, if we jump through all of them, Theta's got the 2 trend lines that we've got drawn there. Dot has got the 2 trend lines. So there's obviously the major resistance. We're breaking the shorter term resistance over there. ZIL for me is the only one, because it had such a strong push up, is that we've basically broken the long-term trend line for ZIL and we've come back down to retest it. So ZIL is the only one that I have a different opinion on, where we've broken the longer-term time frame and now we've actually broken a shorter time frame on ZIL. But ZIL is also ranging in this channel. So we've got the lows and we've got a high in between here. So for me to turn bullish on ZIL, we would have to break above this 23 cents. But
That's
ZIL
a
had
6x from here.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm hoping for that
The
short-term
6x.
relief rally. So for ZIL is the only different one. On all the other little coins, I've got a double resistance line. ZIL's the only one that I'm busy working on this channel, because there is no other really diagonal. But definitely on Theta, if we go to a smaller time frame, let's quickly have a look. We're still in this. Okay, we've got I've got a lot of resistance lines there and support lines inside the channel. But let's go to a 4 hour. We're definitely still inside this channel over here. And if we do break out of a 1.476 resistance, we do have this whole space over here that we can go and fill, which is exactly in line with this diagonal resistance line over here. So yeah.
I think it's the same thing.
Okay,
Bitcoin, major alts, micro alts.
Can we just get to the point and talk about Cardano? Because I may or may not have just taken a little bit of a long position. So let's forget about everything else and let's just get straight into Cardano. I may or may not have taken a little position over here. Let me show you. Maybe it's possible.
So this is one of my favorite trades at the moment. There you went, sir. There you went. You DJing. Okay, so Cardano, we got 2 here. We do have at any point a small pullback. That's definitely one that I want to buy in. And then we got the break of the resistance we're about to break through now. So you're buying at the area of this break here. We break here. We're going here. And what's quite scary is obviously we're still in the very early ranges over here. So you still have the top of the range, which is around 65 cents. So retest, definitely. I think Cardano is one of the early ones to catch now, definitely. But there's 2 ways you buy it. You buy it on this pullback, or you buy the break and close outside of this trend here now, because that means we're going there. Definitely. Anyway, to the region of 52 to 55 cents. It's around 47 cents.
47.
Yeah. So if Bitcoin gets a small rejection at that 23, let's say, and it does have another little retest, it will get Cardano in that entry there. But Cardano is looking strong. For the Cardano holders, I'd be holding. I think Run's gone. He's gone. Okay, cool. So that's about it, guys. I do need to go have a look to the eye specialist and go in. So Cardano is one of the big ones. Be aware. Be patient for your buys, though. If there is, and we got a breakout there, I think Cardano is going to be the one that rips. It's going to catch up. Otherwise, you wait for the pullbacks. But if you're a holder,
Well,
I'd be
Dino, I
holding.
think also, yeah, all your trades are going to be available on CoinPanel. I think at this point in the
Everything.
market's moving and it's moving aggressively. So just reminder to everyone, like these trades are available on CoinPanel.
Exactly.
And just that's the best way to stay updated.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, my brother. One that's going to be probably in the buy zone today. Last ones that I'm giving you guys is Render. Here's Render over here, cracking that long term. It's going to come in here. So anywhere, this isn't leverage trades, guys. Leverage, we wait a bit now. We wait for some flags. We'll catch those. The market's aggressive. They don't never rush that. It's more your spot wallets and long terms. Make sure you're ready. But between 53, 54 cents, 54.50 Render, I'm definitely adding a bit more in my spot here. And I am taking profits around 70 cents, 90 cents. But for me, that's massive gains. So Render is one of the big ones there as well. And I think we had Near Protocol as well. If it does come back, it's also... But you see all the bigger alts are now cracking, guys. They're starting to crack. So be aware. Make sure your long-term and your spot are in play. Spot, have some bigger stop losses in play. Long-term, you're riding it all out. You'll be happier today. And the leverage and the smaller, be a little bit patient on that. The market's already ripped. If you're going to try short now, you might get wrecked because what happens if Bitcoin does break 23K? So I'm not even going to attempt the short here now. Even ideally, the shorters will say this is the area to short. I'm not shorting here at all. I'd rather get us break, retest, and play on that. So short time frame, rather relax. Get your spots, get your long terms in, get that all running because the market's starting to pop and we don't want to miss it. Mama Sniper, we'll do a proper show tomorrow. Everyone wants to know your smaller cap coins, and I think let's do a full view tomorrow. We're doing a lot of shows this week. If Bitcoin does break 23K, I am looking at doing a live show and catching some breaks, definitely some short-term trades. Until then, you can win $1,000 in the daily newsletter, guys. You got to sign up on our links, the Bitget link, ByBit link. You'll catch that all on the newsletter and on my Twitter as well. I'm a Sniper. Love you lots. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Okay. That's it, guys. Love you lots. Let's get the energy up. As I said this week, brand new start, brand new week, new mindset. Ignore the past. Take what was good from it. Get rid of the rubbish. Brand new start, new vision. Everything you've learned, built a new structure, and kick that ass out there. I love you lots, Banter fam, and I'll see you all on the next show. Much love.